Hello, my amazing artists. Today we're going to be combining science and art to create a pastel project of the Northern Lights, also known as Aurora Borealis. The Northern Lights are actually the result of collisions between gaseous particles in the Earth's atmosphere with charged particles released from the Sun's atmosphere. The color of the aurora depends on which atoms are struck and the altitude of the meeting. If you were to go to Alaska, northern parts of Canada, the southern half of Greenland, Iceland, or northern Norway, you'd be able to see the Northern Lights. Some of the colors you might see would be green, red, blue, purple. All of the Northern Lights have to do with the different gases that are colliding with those particles from the sun. All right, let's get started on our chalk pastel Northern Lights project. You're going to start by using chalk pastel on its side to create different wavy lines. Don't be afraid of using too much chalk pastel. The more you use, the easier it's going to spread. I'm taking my time to fill in all the areas of my paper, making sure not to leave any blank spots. I'm wanting my whole sky to be filled with color. Once I've filled up my entire paper with wavy colored lines, I am ready to start blending my pastel. I'm going to make sure just to use one finger per color to blend. Notice how I'm only using my finger. I never use my whole hand, and I never rub my hand across my paper. Chalk pastels can get pretty messy, and if you blend them all together, it'll make a big gray mess. So make sure you're staying on the line of color that you are currently working on, and then you switch fingers before you switch to a different color. We want our lines to show up even though they're a little bit blended. Again, I'm taking my time to make sure I've blended all of my lines, making sure that my sky looks like the Northern Lights. Once you have everything blended, we are ready to move on to the landscape portion of our project. Remember, a landscape is a picture of land. It has a foreground, a background, a middle ground, and a horizon line. I'm going to start with my wavy horizon line where the earth hits the sky. I want it to appear like hills or mountains. I'm filling my horizon line in with black paint because our landscapes are actually going to be landscape silhouettes. We're just going to see the outline of our trees and land. Once I've got my land painted, I am going to start adding trees. I'm going to start with vertical lines, all different heights. We remember that things in the background are itty itty bitty, things in the foreground are jumbo, so I can take that into consideration when I'm making my trees as well. I'll make some big, some small, to give my paper depth. Add some branches to your tree using some diagonal lines off of those vertical lines, or just create a tree form. Variety is always good. I'm leaving some space in between some of my branches because I want it to appear like there's snow on the branches. So some of my trees look very solid, others have space between the branches. So I can go back and add snow. I'm going to go back and add a couple tiny trees in the background just to add some more depth. And once I've got those done, I am ready to put it on the drying rack. And next time we will move on to snow. The snow part of the project is pretty fun because you get to use the other side of the paintbrush. Notice how my bristles are in the air, and I'm actually using a printmaking technique of tapping and pressing to make my snow and stars in the sky. My video cut out for a little bit, so I'm going to show you guys how I added the snow to the tree branches as well. I just like to dab and press snow onto the branches. Once I'm satisfied with the amount of snow and stars I have in my sky and on my trees, my painting is done, and I am ready to put it on the drying rack, clean off my brush. Good luck! Can't wait to see what you guys come up with.